Okay, we're talking like the beginnings of a lot of people. Like Iron Solomon's the guy I've talked to, so it's like so fucking cool to get like a little insight into like this world more. Like so you guys are is it like an organized thing in the sense that y'all was like you knew what you were doing collectively working together to like build up something, or was it more random than that?
It was more visceral and random. I saw Iron Solomon. First of all, Iron Solomon, he was he was a living legend, to the point he was such a living legend. It felt like he was an urban myth, because this guy was he just wouldn't lose. He couldn't lose. He was that good. And we were just going from block to block, from city block to city block, from street to street, battling just whoever would accept the challenge.
Hmm.
So it wasn't regulated by any league or any format or any business, anything like that. It was more so visceral, random. Think if you ever seen the movie The Warriors, that's literally what it was like.
Okay.
Literally was like Warriors, and it was literally 40 seconds. It was always the major wherever there were a lot of young black and brown people congregating in the city. So it would be like 42nd Street,
Yep,
14th Street, Union Square,
yep,
West 4th Street.
yep.
Um, those are like the three main pockets that like you would catch guys either battling or trying to like get their mixtape off. Like
Yep.
it's where everybody goes because that's where a majority of tourists and people from the city that are like looking to like have a good time are all hanging out.
So it's
Right.
like it's really really helpful, believe it or not, for you to say all this to me because a lot of times I hear people say stuff like on the Facebook like, "Yo, the streets is how it pops off." And that doesn't mean a lot to me as a person who's never really been in the streets. But as you describe this kind of stuff, especially with the era you're doing it, right? Like this is when we was all
Hmm.
in I was in high school at this point. So like it really adds a lot of context to how like my older peers think. And it's really helpful. So I just want to thank you for dropping these knowledge nuggets on us like this and answering these questions cuz yo, it's such a pleasure to pick your brain like this.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. So you said you went through the whole thing with the 2003, and then in 2004 your battling is happening, and then you said your story continues at that point.
Yeah. So 2004. This is still a hobby for me. And then 2005, a very pivotal moment happens. My brother comes up from Houston, and he's staying with me at my crib in Harlem. And then I have a double date from Black Planet. Black Planet was a social networking site,
Okay.
and my brother dates who is now my personal assistant, and I was dating her friend, and we go, and I'm rhyming in the car. This is a first date. I'm rhyming in the car all night, and then we go and we see Nelly outside of a club,
Okay.
and I step out of the car. They were like, "Yo, go rhyme for Nelly." And I step out of the car, me and my brother, and I go up, and I'm nervous as hell. I go up to Nelly, and I don't even rhyme. I just say, "Yo, one day we gonna work together." And then I go back into the car. That's how nervous I was. And the girl, Lakita Steele, she was like, "I want to introduce you to somebody," and she introduced me to Saint of GFC New York, and we started GFC New York that following week
What
in
is GFC
2004.
New York?
God, Family, and Culture. It's a consulting firm. So we'll get into that later on in the interview. But basically we did marketing for Nipsey Hussle, Big Crit,
Okay. Okay.
myself, FKI, Black, who spells his name with a six, Rory. Um, the list goes on and on and on. ASAP Rocky,
I've heard
etc.,
of all
etc.,
these
etc.
names. That was a really good
Yeah,
list of names you gave.
yeah. We basically did the marketing for these guys.
That's dope.
So we start GFC New York, and we decided that I was going to be the lead artist off of GFC New York. I was gonna blend everything together. Now at this time I was wearing, mind you, this was 2004, 2005. So I was wearing, we go back into fashion. I was wearing Pradas, I was wearing Dunks, I was wearing Rock and Republic denim, I was wearing True Religion denim, I was wearing 7 jeans. This is before everybody was doing any of that stuff, because everybody and their mother was baggy. Every human being was baggy. So we was doing skinny jeans and this fashion stuff. So we started a magazine called Laced Magazine, which was about sneaker culture. And I was the first artist, and that's when we decided to change my name from Renegade to Mickey Factz. And the name Mickey Factz came from Natural Born Killers, Mickey and Mallory. So I took the name Mickey, and then I wanted to only talk about facts, but I spell it with a Z because I was fashion forward, and I thought facts looked cooler than just FACTS.
It does.
So from there we sampled NERD, and that was the first project that I put out as Mickey Factz.
Yeah, that project is pretty awesome. Also, Mickey Factz was pretty forward thinking from like an SEO equity point of view, because had you put the S, you would have had a lot more competition just off the jump. There was
Right.
going to be dudes named Mickey who wanted to be Mickey Mr. Factz, you know? But by adding that Z actually like helped your future self out, in my opinion. So that's fucking fire thinking.
In terms of algorithm too, and in Googling, when I Google Mickey, if I Google Mickey Factz with an S, you get Mickey Mouse Factz.
Yeah. So like
If you Google it with a Z, you get me.
um
So
that's dope though.